Hi, everyone. This is Lauren Baker of Search Engine Journal, and welcome to a special episode of the Search Engine Journal show today. With me today, I have Fabrice Canel of Bing. Hey, Fabrice, how's it going?
Hello, Lauren. How are you doing?
Good, good. So, before we get started, how about if you take a little bit of a couple minutes to introduce yourself, a little bit about your background, and all the great stuff that you've been doing over at Microsoft slash Bing over the years.
Yeah, sure. I just crossed 26 years at Microsoft, so I'm really a search veteran over here, dealing with search engine forever. And I being my responsibility is to discover the best content on the internet, select the content, download the content, and process it. In short, if your website is missing from Bing, that's me. You can contact me, and we will see what's happening. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. And just as a refresher for some of those that are watching and or listening to this episode, could you go over the Bing search engine itself and then the other properties which are also powered by Bing?
Yeah, so I cannot summarize it in 1 minute. Bing is very big, and we will cover some of it today. But yeah, I want just to disclose that when you are trying to get your content indexed at Bing and optimize for Bing, you also benefit elsewhere. I mean that Bing is also powering Yahoo AOL, Verizon, DuckDuckGo, Ecosia, and so on. So many search solutions worldwide are powered by Bing. And so Bing is often bigger than you think. It's more than Bing.com in terms of logs. This is also all these logs from many search engines worldwide. And if you sum all of that, it sum up. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because one thing I really like to do when I'm working with my clients and working with projects is when we're looking at monthly data or just like organic search driven data, typically Google Analytics will split that up, right? There'll be Google, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Ecosia for some reason, and then like multiple other search engines that are listed there. And what I like to do, especially with Bing, DuckDuckGo, and Yahoo, is to really consider them to be one source. The Bing and the Yahoo audience are very similar. Typically, DuckDuckGo is a little bit different, but typically bring them as one source. And what I see a lot of the time on especially consumer driven sites and e-commerce sites is sometimes a very large difference in transaction conversions and even cost per sale, depending upon who you're or average cost of goods sold, depending upon who you're targeting in that market. Um, some of the sites I work with actually have a much higher conversion rate from traffic that comes from Bing or Bing powered sites, and just really bringing that all together as one. So it's really something it's important to remember is that it's not comparing each individual search engine, but sometimes for you that are doing reporting for clients, it's the search technology that you're optimizing for and or the index that you're optimizing for that's then generating those results. So sometimes adding those results together or clumping them together can be quite useful, especially with if someone asks you like what are we doing and why should we be doing this, why are we optimizing, how are we utilizing both Bing and your competitor Google. And then of course, Fabrice, Bing's been in the news quite a bit with Microsoft's very quick, very quick investment and utilization of OpenAI's ChatGPT and other offerings that have come to the table from OpenAI. So, would you like to talk about how Bing has utilized AI, or specifically ChatGPT and OpenAI oriented technology in really like the past 3 months? Like it's been fairly quick. So, what's going on there?
Yeah, this is moving extremely fast. Often the story is that you have 10 years with decade of change, and this day, in 10 days, we do really previous decades of change. So this is moving extremely fast. And I will help guiding the SEO community to what to do and not do and really what to focus on, because you see a lot of changes, a lot of communication, and I will help everybody to focus on key things that is really at the end helping the search engine. But to answer your question is, first, OpenAI investment for Microsoft is not really recent. There is a partnership with OpenAI. Microsoft invested in OpenAI for a few years already. and we benefit from this investment and this technology in the past 3 to 4 months. So this is really about first leveraging, and also this is not about this technology only. There is a lot of investment for years about leveraging AI at Microsoft and Bing, and leveraging machine learning and all this tech for many years. We are not setting base; we are purely machine learning based, where we try to advance satisfy the user. So this integration is really first a model that we call Prometheus to call the integrate with the technology, not only on training data, but also on production data. So what is happening is when the query come in, we have really a better understanding of the query itself by really querying and understand deeply the user, the query, to provide at the end personalized and high quality results to the customer. So we develop a model that we call Prometheus. We spoke about that, and you can find some blog posts about that if you want to go deeper. But basically, it's integrating with the ChatGPT technology to really query it in a way that is optimized for search engine. Mean that you get results that are fresh, that are try to be as relevant as possible, and try to find the best results based on our understanding of the customer itself, the context of the query, and at the end is offering the best experience to the customer. This is also not only this model that is querying this the ChatGPT system. This is also be able to query the index itself. So think chat is just an extension to the search result page, where clearly we benefit from the quality of the result page to find the best content on the internet. And then this is also integrated in different parts of the system. This is not only in the search experience itself and the chat experience. This is also to provide the best ranking to the end user. So the search result page itself is optimized, take into account some of this new technology to provide the best experience to the customer. I can speak for 30 minutes about all these things. I try to summarize it, to say that, again, this is more than chat. This is integrated in different places of the system. And this is interesting, and this is keep iterating, and we are moving extremely fast these days.
So one of the first things I noticed when ChatGPT became incredibly popular, which was right before Christmas, New Year's, was the lack of citation in ChatGPT responses, right? Immediately, Neva, which has launched Neva AI, I believe beforehand, came out and saying that, hey, their responses, here's how it works, here's where the citations are, everything else, right? Here are the sources, which really worried people at first, because some AIs will use Wikipedia as a source for citation. Well, Wikipedia itself is not a source. Every teacher is probably teaching every kid across the world that right now. And I believe DuckDuckGo does use Wikipedia as a source, which is kind of interesting for their AI. And then on top of that, I'm doing a query right now on Bing, and I see that I'm seeing for normal search results, you're giving basic information, and then afterwards, actually I searched CBD gummies, right? So CBD gummies. And I search for what are CBD gummies good for, and I see, well, CBD gummies are this kind of product and this kind of product, and I see footnotes and citations coming from 5 sources around the web, and then I have the ability to learn more by clicking on those 5 sources. Now, what's interesting to me is those 5 sources are a mix of both informational and transactional sites, which is really cool from an SEO perspective, because to a degree, it mimics the same kind of results that are showing in the index themselves. So are you able to go a little bit deeper into how the citations work within the new Bing, and how beneficial is that for companies, content marketers, et cetera, to become a citation?
Yeah, so yes, I can. So we should a little bit step back to understand really why Bing and why we have Bing. Bing, this is fundamentally a search engine to satisfy the end user. So this means that this is all about we will become even more profitable if we satisfy even more users. Period. Mean people come to Bing to be find search results and click the results and navigate certainly to some pages that they believe are relevant. This means that there is different intent of queries. First, there is navigational query. You go to Bing, you query for, let's say, YouTube. Clearly, the intent of a query for most users is to go to youtube.com. Okay, clear. Kind of most search engines are satisfying this intent of queries. That's great. You may have queries that are more longer query, that are you want to search blah 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 something, and this is very long queries, and this is where we have extended the query box to be able for customer to really enter these very long queries. And this is where you don't really know what you want. You think there is something on the internet that may satisfy this query. And so this is where not only the search result page can ideally link you to something, or if we don't really know, then this is where the chat experience starts to be interesting. And the chat experience will appear not only when you click the chat button, but if we believe that the chat experience can help you, then this will appear within the search result page itself. And when people are entering the search chat experience, then this is all about refining the queries and results to try at the end to satisfy the user. Before it was called related links, related queries. Now this is more, okay, chat experience where people can really define and we can really help the user. But at the end of the day, the Bing experience is really about redirecting customer to a site, to somebody has published something somewhere. And so this is all about finding the best content and clicking to find this content online and clicking this link where people can at the end do this transaction. But they say to shop something, to register to an event, to get more information in depth, then they go and click the site. So all this is coming from is really about, again, this model that we learn from the results itself, what is the most relevant links that we can find, and enable a search experience that is based on that. So being linked in the chat experience somehow require that you are also index at Bing and link from Bing, mean that it's all about providing at the end be index and be having a relevant results at Bing, and then you will surface in the chat experience.
Amazing. And besides, well, first, one of the first things I noticed when doing a query and following up on the query and trying to chat is a call to action to download the Edge browser for the full Bing Copilot experience. So I really think the word Copilot is being used incredibly strategically here, right? Bing is not being replaced by the technology, but it's to help the search engine, right? It's an assistance or maybe a selection. One question I have for you is, what is there a different Bing experience after downloading Edge? And to the best of your knowledge that you can share, has this led to an increase in Edge downloads and Edge usage as a browser?
Yeah, so first question is about is the experience optimized, especially the landing experience optimized in Edge? And so yes, the answer is yes. When you navigate to a site, we offer the ability to learn more about the sites and also refine the chat experience is move also to the chat, to the website itself. Mean that when you navigate to a site, you can then directly use the chat experience to learn about the site itself or to get I don't know, so you can summarize the information, you can generate an email about this page that you want, and the chat can help you to generate this email, LinkedIn post, Twitter, or so on. So this is the chat experience is not only available within Bing.com, this is also moving across Microsoft product. You will see this experience also in Skype. You will see this experience directly integrated in Windows. So in most Microsoft products, we know that customers love it, they benefit from it, and so we are displaying the chat experience in many, many places. Does it translate to being increased interest and download of a feature? Yes. I cannot disclose any number. I don't have a number top of my head first. But yes, clearly we see highest interest not only from you, from the press, but also from customer. And what is amazing to see is really where we see customer absolutely delighted. It's not because it's Bing, it's the wow effect. So you can search on YouTube and you see people that are amazed by this new experience. And I experience this myself with my family, where I am always saying, hey, you should use Bing, it's better. And here, okay, they use it and they see the wow effect, where clearly they have something that is compelling, relevant, and where type of queries that we were clearly not able to find before and now they're able to find. So it's really something that is, I think it's the next steps. This is where you see that search engine, I don't say they are dumb, but they are clearly something continue to improve. And we see, I still think that we are somehow in preschool, and here we are
Yeah.
entering, let's say, middle school.
I love the guerrilla warfare aspect of this, the ability to introduce this new Bing chat experience in products and services that have been seeded and are used by individuals on a daily basis from a lifestyle basis. So when you bring up things like Skype, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to download, like, someone doesn't have to be necessarily a Bing fan to get into this, but Skype is done on a daily basis from a lifestyle perspective. It's a lifestyle tool. It's a chat tool. It's a communication tool. Teams, obviously, on the B2B side, the adoption of Teams skyrocketed, right? The past couple of years. There's so many Office, there's so SharePoint or whatever. There's so many default Microsoft products that are utilized on a daily basis that people just don't think about. The ability to seed all of those with this chat experience, or an introduction to this chat experience, and then funnel everything into the Bing experience, the Bing Copilot experience, is a pretty cool strategy. Haven't really seen that done by many people in a long time online. So that's a really cool way to go about it. Very nice, very nice. Now, what about in terms of, okay, so there's the ability to utilize Bing to dig deeper, ask questions, and have a conversation to better answer your question within the search results. And then sometimes those answers can come from cited brands, which helps to build that brand loyalty or that publisher loyalty. And then there's the ability, when someone is using the Edge browser, to basically take what would be on-site tools, right, like customer service, internal search, et cetera, and do it right there within the browser experience. And as we all know, the browser usage is becoming much more and more important in terms of ID targeting and things like that. But I guess what I'm getting at is, besides those two, what about when it comes to tools like local search or image search or other types of search that are highly targeted by business owners and companies? What kind of integrations are we seeing there?
So we, at the end, is we really believe that this experience that is complementary to navigation search. I mean, I spoke about YouTube. You click YouTube, okay, you are satisfied by that. But sometimes you want really to interact, as you said, with an experience that will offer the ability to learn more, refine your query, improve your query to be able to find stuff online. So we enable this experience not only in chat is more than web links, mean that you can also find images, you can also find local, you can also find advertising, you can all find all these things, assuming they are relevant and benefit to the user. Then you will see a very rich experience in chat. Is more than text search, is more than this. Example, we have integrated with DALL-E and with technologies to support ability for people to create an image within the chat experience. So not only you can go to bing.com/create, where you can create your own image, but also you can enable this ability within the chat experience. So at the end, it's just different endpoint, different ways of interacting with a stack and the technology to, again, offer the best experience to the user. And I will share that the UX experience is as important as the technology, because really it's about redirecting the user to the something first they can understand, because it's really going deeper than blue links. It's something that is new for a lot of users. So you have to really learn and improve the experience as you go to see how people are reacting to this new experience. And it's integrated everywhere. It's really about this complete experience that is easy to understand and compelling and providing relevant results.
And one thing I found really interesting is on the landing page, basically, for Bing, you have examples of integrating this AI into the search, refining the search. And the example is, help me plan a trip to London. It's like, sure, I can help you do this. Here is this and this and that. First, you can go look at what to do on visitlondon.com, and then you can also get a London pass to make the most of the popular attractions. And you can find cheap flights on this and that to get there from Kayak, and then also vacation packages which are available via Expedia. I like the way this is done because it seems like it's generating a true. It's almost like it's taking information that would typically be available within the results themselves, and then generating into a narrative. It's much easier for people to understand and time saving. Are there any other examples that you're aware of that are beneficial that way?
I mean, money. Just don't ask the SEO geeks, because the SEO geeks have too much experience about what to do and what the query look like. Really
Mm,
look at everybody user. I mean, this can be your family, your friends. Ask us just to play with this technology to see how people are really interacting with the system. I mean, this is 99.9999% of the population. Yeah.
right.
This is not you are the geeks, you think something, but really look at what people are interacting with this technology. And so, yes, this is all about providing an experience compelling that is really learning what we were seeing in terms of, yes, they were clicking the visit London, or don't remember exactly the site you listed, but they were also looking at Expedia and Kayak and all the sites. And here we try to bring all the things together to write a narrative related to the links themselves. So again, this is very, very interesting to observe people. We do usability session, and we really see now that the experience is public. This is fascinating to see how people are interacting with it. Or again, family friends is a great way to see how people are using that. And we are learning. So this is very, very early still. Same if we are moving fast. At the end, this is all about now that we start to have customer data. This is all about improving the experience to make it even more compelling and even more interesting for all users.
Has Bing yet made any landmark changes as a result of the learnings that you've had from these first few months of user behavior that's coming through in terms of maybe the way that the results are shown, the order, the priority of the results, prioritizing the chat experience over typical search, anything along those lines?
Absolutely. This is keep changing every day, because when we, again, as I disclosed early in this discussion, chat is mostly machine learning based. I mean, it's all
Mhm.
about data. And obviously, when you enable such kind of experience, you have no data because there is no customer data. So when you enable this experience, you kind of do basic assumption based on your own internal experience of what this is looking like. And as you go, you start to collect data. You start to collect also feedback. People that are writing us, that are clicking the feedback link in the search result page to tell us, hey, this is not working, this is, and so on and so on. And you learn and you tune based on this. Mean that you tune the triggering to display or not display this experience within the chat result page and so on. Yes, so this is ongoing. This is also that we start speaking externally about that. And some group of people are, for instance, the advertiser team. The advertiser teams and people across the world that we want to provide the best experience also for advertiser within this experience. And so we are chatting with them and speaking with them to really maybe have a new advertising models for this experience and really have something compelling also for them.
Is Bing yet working with any of your partners to bring that chat experience to the partner experience? Like I'd referred to DuckDuckGo as launching their AI
Yeah.
last month, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a connection between theirs and OpenAI, but if you can go into that a little bit, that would be interesting.
Unfortunately, I cannot reply this question. This is really at the end partner that will speak about that when, I cannot really answer this question.
Okay, so the ability to generate an image utilizing DALL-E in the Edge browser looks like that was launched yesterday. Is that correct? Or over the weekend?
Yeah, this is. I don't keep track. They keep launching things. Sometimes it's launched as a beta. Sometimes it's launched as full production. Sometimes it's an invite. Unfortunately, I cannot track of everything. But yes, I think it was last week. They says yes, we launched the ability directly to create images within the browser. This was available at bing.com also create, where you can create an image. As I said, this is also visible in the Bing chat experience, where you can ask for creation of images. So this is something that is interesting. This is kind of user-generated content because you can type your own keywords to generate the image. But again, this is not SEO. This is not about get my content index. So this is,
Well, to a degree, it could be. One of the things that first excited me the most about AI, and especially when in its infancy in terms of content generating tools and things like that, was the ability to create images utilizing AI, especially for content marketers or content creators that are typically using the same exact stock imagery over and over and over and over and over again.
yes.
So I have a question. I'm a content creator and I have a blog, right? So the first question is, if I'm utilizing a tool like Wall-E or Bing Image Creator to create an original image embedded on my site, will that image then be indexed by Bing Image Search, or will it be identified as as an image that was already created by a tool or an AI and not an original image? And where's the gray area between those?
Great. I've got this question a lot these days about will you detect me if I use AI, ChatGPT, or so on, or other technology to really optimize my content? My answer to this is really about everybody use AI for 20 years, maybe 10 years. It was sometimes called a speller. It was something that was doing grammatical correction. AI is just the next mega speller, mega grammatical correction. It's enabled the ability to do better things than in the past. But at the end, it's kind of the same. It's all about, okay, you get software help to generate your content, whether this is an image or a text or something like this. So think about what I said. This is from the search engine, our standpoint is if this is satisfying the Bing user, that's all we care. And so this is if you are at me not a native English speaker, but you rewrite your content in a way that is really better than whatever you can write initially, it's certainly better for the end user to read this kind of content that maybe AI generated than what you wrote initially. So again, if a user at the end of the day being users clicking the links is satisfied by the content, this is certainly something that is that we won't penalize, and we will get this content index. But if you take Wikipedia and clone it, or if you take my example of youtube.com and you copy it across the internet, don't expect to be at position 1 in search results. Because there is so many of such content on the internet, people that are cloning other type of content, product content all over the internet. So at the end there is something about not being penalized, and there is something about being linked. And being linked require more than, I have good generated content. If you may have more useful content elsewhere that is more trusted, more having more authority than your content. So it's not about generating sites, and unfortunately, we see lot of clone sites on the internet, lot of content that is AI generated. You can still do it, but don't expect to be indexed in search engine, and especially don't expect to be at top position in search engine.
Excellent. And speaking of indexing, how about if we bridge a little bit into IndexNow, which was the revolutionary launch by Bing, what, about 2 years ago now?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So could you go a little bit into IndexNow, what it is and how it works?
Yeah. So first, we are trying, and I'm trying really to simplify what SEO need to do. I mean, if you think about it, a search engine is working. First, we are discovering content on the internet. And to discover content, it's pretty hard. Mean that we do have to do what we call deep crawling, follow links to finally find all these links that are on the internet. Every day we discover 70 billion distinct links on the internet. 70 billion. It's a lot. So we keep finding stuff. Huge. And not most of this is totally useless. So what is useful? Don't know. So we have to select the best links on the internet. Then we have to fetch them, download them to download this content, and then we process them and we clean up and we triage and we say, okay, this is worth indexing. So you start by big, and then you have a funnel and you index only some of it because there is so much content, totally useless, clone content, useless content that links, but only some of it goes in the index. So at the end is, for SEO, we try to make it easy to discover, select, and crawl content. Let's imagine that you have a site, loren.com. Where I don't know the sites, and there is so many of sites. We have billions of websites out there. So what we try to do is, if you have a sitemaps and use IndexNow, and I will tell you about IndexNow, then this is easy for us to, one, discover all URLs, two, select them, and download them. Why? What is IndexNow? IndexNow is a real-time mechanism via an API that search engines have to tell content management system to tell what changed on the sites, added, updated, and deleted content. If a change happens, you just ping the search engine, the crawler is coming, we download the content, and we are in sync with the content management system, with your website. My goal really is to have up to 75% of the internet adopting IndexNow in few years, to be able to have this less crawling, in sync content between websites and the engine. If you do a press release, you don't want to go to sleep and wait and have nightmares, especially if you have done a typo and you are changing it, to get the latest content index in search engine. You want that this is done in seconds, in minutes. So having this ability to ping the search engine, to tickle, to say, please come, help, discovery, selection, crawling, there is no more crawl quota because the number of URL added, updated, deleted is really small per day on every site. So this is a wonderful solution that is today adopting by few search engines, Yandex, Bing, Chesnam. More search engines are coming. We will do some announcement over the following weeks. This is interesting. You will see some important players that are coming, and more are coming.
Great.
And additionally, this solution is already by 20 million websites on the internet. So if your website is not didn't adopt yet, what are you waiting for? Please adopt it. It can be seconds to adopt it in WordPress. You just install a plugin, done deal. Please do that.
Which plugin is that should be installed?
So first, there is a lot of plugins supporting IndexNow already for WordPress. Mean that there is first we enable our own open source plugin for WordPress. So you have a Bing plugin. Second is that Yoast is supporting IndexNow with RankMath, with all-in-one SEO, and I forget another one that support IndexNow.
Great. So if you're utilizing Yoast, all-in-one index, all in AIO SEO, all-in-one SEO, and some other plugins that are synced with IndexNow, your content, whether you launch new content, change content, or delete content, should instantly ping Bing, which gets me back to a question that we had in the chat by Amit asking how many days does it take Bing to index content? So if you're utilizing Index Now, it should be more or less instantaneous, correct?
Yeah, this is if we believe that this content is relevant, this is nearly instantaneous for new content. For updated content, we are scaling reliabilities, and in the following weeks, you will see this content that is indexed in seconds to minutes. So this is some of the new content, updated content is coming in seconds to minutes already. We are just scaling reliabilities to get all added updated content deleted in seconds to minute. I spoke about 20 million sites. This is about 2.5 billion URL per day already that are submitted via IndexNow. So major website as LinkedIn, eBay. I cannot list all the sites. I need to have approval from these sites to list them. But some very, very large websites are already adopting IndexNow, and we are encouraging everybody to adopt IndexNow because SEOs, you really want to be in control about what's indexed in search engine.
Absolutely. And if anyone's looking for more information about Index Now, you can go to
Bing it.
indexnow.org.
Yes, you just Bing it. You type
Just
IndexNow
Bing
and
it.
you just Bing it. Yes.
Amazing. So besides the integration of AI or ChatGPT AI into the Bing experience, as well as the launch or the growth of Index Now, is there anything else that's happening at Bing that you'd like to discuss today to share with our audience and to share with SEOs that are on here to learn how to take advantage of those advances at Bing?
Yeah, so the other things at the end that we try to have people focusing on from an SEO standpoint is not only, as we said, to get the content index. So this means sitemaps and IndexNow. Sitemap is complementary to IndexNow. IndexNow is real-time. Sitemap is more a daily catch-up of all relevant URL you have on the site. Problem solved. Mean I am aware of all your URL, and if I like them, I will come to download them immediately. So this is helping you to really focus on what matter, mean the content itself, mean writing relevant content, having good schema related to your content. Really, this is what you should focus on. Mean this is helping you to be, I would say, indexed and be potentially in the top position if you develop an audience for your content. If this content we believe this is relevant for a lot of users. So at the end is I encourage people to read the big Webmaster guidelines that is kind of listing all these abilities and what you really have to work on. But else, to answer your question, Lauren, this is we keep iterating as we go. As I said, there is often there was decades with days of change, and this is about days with decades of change. A lot is happening in Bing search, and even more is coming. We didn't disclose everything that we plan doing. There is far more coming.
Excellent. That's great to hear and super exciting. I do have a question about Bing Webmaster Tools, and this comes up quite a bit. You had mentioned sitemaps in Bing Webmaster Tools. When I log into Bing Webmaster Tools from most accounts that I work on, under the sitemaps field, in addition to the typical XML sitemap that's set up with the intent of feeding the engine specific pages, typically I'll find RSS feeds, Atom feeds, /feed URLs from a WordPress site automatically listed and discovered by Bing as being sitemaps. And then after deleting them, they still kind of come back. So biggest question is that anyone should be worried about when it comes to Bing Webmaster Tools? If Bing is discovering and listing sitemaps and or pages that are not intended to be sitemaps within the tool set, and can that be optimized?
Okay, now you open the question on sitemap, and sitemap is my second passion after IndexNow. So because I wrote and part of sitemaps.org many years ago, and still collaborating with Google on sitemaps. So first thing on sitemaps, I will come to your question, is that we announced recently, I did a blog post on a study we did related to use of last modified date in sitemap. what we saw is that as the internet is moving to more good quality content management system, we see that people are doing a better job at sitemaps, and especially related to last modified date, to know when the content has been modified. So this is truly helping, and we identify one issue that people need to fix. This is some of the last modified date is set to the time the sitemap is generated. This is not what we should do. This is it should be linked. This last modified date must be the value of the destination content. So if you link to an article HTML pages, this is not the sitemap generation time, it should be the destination content. So we tweak a little bit the text on sitemaps.org to make it crisper. And please fix your sitemap. This is truly helping on last modified date. Coming back to Bing Webmaster tool and sitemaps, first, we started to enable index reporting per sitemaps. Mean for large sitemaps, you will start seeing in Bing Webmaster tool the index status per URL. This is helping you to identify issues. Second is that related to the usage of last modified date, we have really slowed down and trust the last modified date also for sitemaps. Meaning that you will see that on large website, we were doing tens of thousands of requests a few weeks ago. Recently, we are really lowering and do dozens of requests. So less scroll down on sitemaps that didn't modify. We did an optimization there, and I will do a blog post in the following weeks. Last is that, yes, you may see RSS and Atom that are coming back, because if you are linking to that from robots text file, we believe that it's kind of an automatic discovery that you do, and we'll re-add them because we believe this is relevant links and that are worth providing data on. RSS and Atoms are just sitemaps. If you go to sitemaps.org, you will see that RSS and Atoms are just a type of sitemaps, as text sitemaps are also a type of sitemap.
Excellent. That's a good reminder too, because I think sometimes folks may forget, not only on Bing but also on the Google side, that RSS can be indexed utilizing Search Console in sitemaps as well. Fabrice, where can folks follow up with you and find you online?
So LinkedIn, Twitter is my favorite ways to interact with people. Not my mailbox. Please, if you can find my email, don't send me email. This is very challenging already to handle the team and everybody on the internet. So please, LinkedIn or Twitter. I found that this is an easy way to limit the number of random ask. Yeah.
Awesome. I'll take that as a warning because I do hit up your email quite a bit. So I'm going to drop this in here right now. You can follow Fabrice's Twitter at FACAN.
Yes.
At FACAN. And then also you can find Fabrice and connect with Fabrice here on LinkedIn. For all of you who are currently watching on LinkedIn, Fabrice, thank you so much for taking the time today on this Easter Monday to connect and talk a little bit more about Bing, the integration of AI into Bing. Just to let everyone know, we had a lot of questions about things like utilizing AI to write pages, or utilizing AI to do this and do that. What exactly Chat GPT is being utilized for in the future of Bing, things like that. There's only so much we're able to review today and put out there. But again, thank you so much, Fabrice. And just as a reminder, in addition to Skype and Teams and Bing, what are some of the other larger sites that are owned by Microsoft? Because I think sometimes people tend to forget the Microsoft family. Like I just named one, right? Like
LinkedIn,
where to connect with you. Yes, exactly.
LinkedIn,
which has gotten much better in the past few years. Yes. Any others?
Xbox.com. So the Microsoft Web Properties is a large galaxy of websites, and so this is very interesting. And the SEO optimization is always challenging for every large corporation, such as the problems of SEO optimization of Microsoft Web Properties is as similar to the other web properties. Yeah.
So can we get into how Microsoft is utilizing ChatGPT in the world of Xbox and Minecraft right now, or is that off limits as well?
I simply don't know that. I don't have
Okay.
time. Yes.
All right, great. Well, Fabrice, thanks again. I really appreciate you jumping on today. For all of you that are watching and listening, thank you so much for listening and watching to today's Search Engine Journal show. We'll have more episodes coming up tomorrow. We have an episode hosted by our editor-in-chief, Amanda, along with Roger Monti and Matt Southern, to discuss ways and prompts to integrate ChatGPT into your overall SEO strategy. Amanda Zantel-Wiener, that is. So thank you so much, Fabrice. Thank you to today's listeners, and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye. So long.
Thank you for joining us this week on the Search Engine Journal Show. If you liked this episode, subscribe to our channel for so much more and click the notification